Acknowledge me.
Leveled by Marvin Constant, the redshirt freshman out of Tuscaloosa.
Oh, they go by now. Let him know he don't want to stop. 65 yards, and the ball was brought away from the line of scrimmage. Gerald Dixon.
Hey, you forgot my book. And you proper.
Welcome in, everyone. It's Tuesday night. Yeah, we're late, but you know what? I believe we're worth waiting for, right? The Bama Standard is now on the air. Before we get things going, do a few things for me. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Live chat. Just do your thing tonight. Show up. Show out if you are watching the replay. Get down in the comment section. Let's hear from you tonight. We need your love. Hey, I'm Justin Riley, and with me, as always, is an all-star panel highlighted by the undisputed king of comedy. He's everyone's cousin, but more importantly, he's the star of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, the needle mover himself, Steve Brown.
Yeah, man, just got my finger injured like Marvin, so I just got yeah, yeah, so I'm just trying to work it out, man. Just came back from emergency care, but I think I lost my forefinger, but I'll be all right. So yeah, nothing is gonna stop me from being on the Bama Standard. So yeah, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. I'm ready.
Nothing matches your bravery, Steve. Thank you for what you do.
Let's make it happen.
And then we got the 1999 All-SEC linebacker. When Ric Flair said to be the man, woo, you got to beat the man. Ladies and gentlemen, he's still that man, Marvin Constant.
They say imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So I get it. Steve Brown want to be like me, so we going to go with that one.
I don't want to go to nursing homes naked and perform for old ladies. I don't want to do that, sir.
How is Miss Eugene?
Oh, you got jokes. Okay.
Hey, man, it's Tuesday. All bets are off.
You can't see as well, Steve, so it's good money in that.
Wow.
Pettey, I'm gonna need you to chill out over there in your UPS attire, okay? Don't do that. Looking like you fresh off 100 package delivery. Don't.
What can Pettey do for you?
I went to Baby Gap and somebody had bought all the youth small black shirts. So
Hey, Pettey, now you're wrong. You are definitely wrong. That's not a youth small black shirt. That's a leotard. Go ahead, with the show.
And yeah, we've already started talking about him. He is the host of the Opening Kick. He's a legend on the strip and in Gillettes, and he's probably one of the most outspoken guys on this network. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Pettey.
What's up? Glad to be here, man. Really pumped to be on here with Mr. Darby tonight. I know y'all gonna give him an introduction, but I think this is one of the toughest dudes to ever tote the rock for Alabama, and I'm ready to dig in with this guy.
Well, let's go ahead and let the folks know one of the baddest dudes to ever tote the rock. You can find him in the record books. You can find him in the end zone. You can find him. Wow. I guess they're excited too. You can also find them in the archives on film, making Patrick Willis look silly. Sorry, Pettey. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Kenneth Darby.
What's good, fellas?
What's going on,
brother? Hey, man, we happy to have you here, man. You were the baddest man to tote the rock, and I was the baddest man to tote rocks. But I changed my life. I'm not a part of that lifestyle no more. I'm not a part of that lifestyle.
Only because they closed the movie.
All right, so real quick, I don't know who has somebody in the background partying, but it's kind of loud. So if you cut it down. Oh, somebody just got shot.
Oh man, and we got it all on camera now too. So now we got evidence. We're going to be pulled into court. That's bad.
All right, there you go.
Right. Man, wow. There's never a dull moment here, fellas. How are we feeling, Marvin? You're actually staying put for just a tad here. What's going on with you? When's the next vacation? How you feeling?
I don't go on vacation. I'm at home working all the time.
The videos that we've seen on your Instagram and Facebook say otherwise.
I be at home minding my own business, staying out of the way.
Oh, yeah, the tax people on his ass. I get it. Uncle Sam is on your ass. I get it.
Oh no, trust and believe there is an amazing adventure loading for next month as I celebrate my 46th birthday. The plans and preparations are well underway, and will be finalized here real soon. It will be an epic adventure.
That's
All right.
what's up.
Can't wait to hear you brag about it. Anyway.
You brought it up, not me.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Can you, Justin, can you see that? Can y'all see that?
Barely. 444-629-117.
Yeah, that's Marvin's social security number. IRS, come get his ass. Come get his ass.
All right, look, guys, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Alabama is all of a sudden, they're on fire in terms of recruiting. A lot of people were doubting us. We were down in the rankings. But, wow, what a difference a month makes. We are shooting up the charts. We're going to talk about it a little bit. We're going to let Marvin talk about Xavier Griffin. We're going to let KD talk about Xavier Crowell. After that, we're going to dig a little bit deeper and kind of talk about what may be leading to this. Why is there an uptick, a surge of 4 and 5 stars? And by the way, we're not done. There are more to come. Tomorrow, we probably have one of the biggest announcements coming. And 5-star wide receiver Xavier Morgan. I'm being told he's come to Bama, but we all know things can happen in an instant. And then we got a bunch of other guys that can really make this class something special. And after that, we're going to talk about what's going on in summer workouts. It's only a few days away, and then SEC Media Days are upon us. So what message is Kalen DeBoer trying to send to the team in this summer workout and to college football as SEC Media Day approaches? So let's go ahead and get things started. Marvin, I sent you the tape on 5-star linebacker Xavier Griffin. People saying this is a generational talent, a guy that can really move the needle for us in terms of defense. What did you see from him? What do you like about him?
I mean, he's a versatile kid. I've seen him line up on the edge as well as playing off the ball, so he can do both. Has great speed, great ball skills in terms of getting to the ball. I've seen him cause a few turnovers when getting there. So the one thing about him that I would say he will probably need to work on is his pad level. He plays extremely high. You can get away with that in high school, but as you transition to college and everybody on that field is almost equally matched as you when it comes to speed and strength, you can't get away with those things you get away with in high school. And at 6'3", 200 pounds, he has a lot of room for growth. So I'm going to need to see him add about 25 to 40 pounds to actually be able to compete at the highest level possible, because, I mean, I've seen some smaller guys do it at linebacker, but it's not easier for the smaller guys when you're having to take on those tackles and you have those tight ends chipping coming off that edge. Or if you're in the middle, off the ball, and you're taking on centers, guards, and tackles, you got to beef up to be able to take that abuse. But outside of that, everything I've seen on film on it points to him being a high motor guy that's going to give you everything he has, and he's going to be a great steal for Alabama.
Man, love to hear that. KD, I sent you the film of Xavier Crowell. Man, this dude looks amazing.
Oh, yeah.
The second coming of both TJ Yeldon and Derrick Henry. Great field vision, has amazing top end speed. When he's running the ball, it's like he's gliding, finding his spots, being very strategic about where he's going to go. And when he gets going, you can't stop him. I see people trying to take him down. It just doesn't work. And he's a guy who doesn't shy away from contact, kind of like you. What did you see from him, man?
Pretty much everything you just spoke of, I kind of gathered that as well. A guy with great vision. I see he's patient when running the ball. One of the most primary things you need to have as a running back is patience, but also the vision part of it. Like I say, he's like a man amongst the boys on tape. Watching him play against these kids, but look how strong he really is in a whole because like I say, it's going to be a lot of big boys that he'll be going against now, opposed to high school. But all I've seen on film so far has been great. Like he just a major back. He definitely going to be a big key to the offense.
Hold on 1 second. I so apologize. Listen, we just had some technical difficulty, and you broke all the way up like the whole time. So if you will. Can you? Hey, I'm sorry, man. Because nobody was gonna say that, but I ain't scared of you, so I had to tell you.
You'd meet him in the hole, in other words.
Yeah, I would have met him in the hole. I would have met him in the hole. Got my ass ran over. But listen, can you elaborate on that one more time, man? Because it broke up. Sorry about that.
Got it. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, perfect. Crystal.
Perfect. Okay, got you. Okay, I must told you, man. This technology, man. Be quiet.
Well, Boost Mobile.
We get it.
Over in SEC defenses.
Yeah. Hey. But what I was saying was this. I was going to reiterate everything you said in the beginning as far as what I seen from him on tape. Guy, he has great vision. Definitely have the speed and the patience as well. Like I say, he just looked unstoppable on the field playing against those kids on that level. I would like to see all that translate over into the college field because, like what Marvin said, it's going to be totally different playing against high school players when you get to that next level. Mm-hmm. A lot of things that come easy in high school not going to come as easy as he did in high school as it will when he get to college. So I would still like to see him have that patience like he have now. The vision not going to go nowhere. That's just God-given right there. And the speed, of course, I know he'll get a lot stronger and a lot faster. So I'm just kind of anxious to see how he's going to do on the next level. I know he's going to be a stud just like he is now in high school. But like I say, the sky's the limit for him at the university.
Man, we're excited. Matter of fact, we had a live watch party on our network, and we had 16,000 Alabama fans running wild just to see what he was going to do. And it made our dream come true. He's coming, and he's going to be a part of what's already a loaded backfield. So I'm excited about it. Since we're on the subject of recruiting, before we kind of dive into what DeBoer's got going now, I started doing my digging a little bit on you. From what I understand, Coach Saban wanted you to come to LSU, right? Matter of fact, I think you had placed LSU as top priority, but someone kind of got in the way and changed your mind and made history happen right before your eyes. Can you kind of dive into your recruiting there?
Oh, yeah. It was fun. But it kind of put me in the mind of a lot of these kids now because I was recruited by a good amount of colleges, and LSU was one of them. And, of course, Alabama. But that was like one of my top three teams was, of course, is Alabama, LSU, and believe it's not Ole Miss. Those are my top three teams I was considering highly. And kind of not to go all the way down the recruiting aspect of it, but when I was in high school, before I became a senior, I was getting recruited a lot by Michigan State. And at that time, the Michigan State coach, of course, was Saban. Then when I got to become a senior in high school, Michigan State letters all of a sudden stopped coming. And all of a sudden, a lot of LSU letters came. Of course, that's when Saban was there. But not knowing exactly who he was at the time, knew he was a good coach. But they weren't on my radar that heavy like that. But I did put them to the side as going. So visit time came, went to Alabama, my first visit, fell in love with it, got won over by a lot of people, and never ended up taking my visit to LSU, which was supposed to be that next weekend or whatever. So yeah, so I just ended up committing to Bama or whatever after my first year because I was like blown away by everything that I seen and what was told to me, which all came about when I got there. But only God knows what would happen if I would have went on the LSU visit.
Nothing.
What did Ramsey Robinson, who kept you from taking that trip to LSU first?
Man, I think it will be. It's funny you say that, man. I kind of because in a way, that's how I kind of all got switched up how we orchestrated it. Because I know Bama was interested in Ramsey as well. And he wanted to go on a visit with me. He wanted us both to go at the same time. I literally was going to go to LSU my first visit. then came back and went to Bama visit with him. But he did somehow convince me, and my coach convinced me as well. High school coach convinced me to do Bama my first visit, then come do LSU the second visit. So that's how that happened, believe it or not. I never tell nobody that part of the story, but that's how it happened.
Look at Ramsey doing God's work.
Yeah,
I know, right?
I said, yeah, you set me up, but it was a good setup, though. I appreciate it.
Well, was there any one thing or what like, because you just canceled the rest of your trip? So I mean, what sold it? Like, put the final nail in the coffin for Bama?
Man, one of the things was that I had relatives there. Sean Draper, he was a tight end there back then,
Mm-hmm.
and he was me and him related. So he's my cousin down the line. So he really sold it because he really sold it for me or whatever. And people that I went to high school with that was a lot higher than me or whatever that I knew of that's in Bama, they was there as well. So it just kind of felt like home when I went because I still knew familiar faces that were going to be there when I got there. And I know Sean was on his way out. So when, like I said, it just felt like home, like familiar faces. It just felt good.
So this being at the Citizens Club didn't persuade you none?
Not at all.
The moon winks and hotel. None of that. That's what got me.
Now we've come full circle to Stephen and the rocks he carried.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite places to get it in. Let's go.
But it was fun times, man. I don't regret none. I don't regret my decision at all. I do kind of wish that I would have took all my business just to get that full experience, but my mind was already made up, though. Like I said, when I went there, it felt good. It felt comfortable, and it was closer to home as well. Huntsville, right up the street where I'm from, so I was closer to home when I wanted to get on the road and go visit my family and parents. So it all panned out to be great.
That's what's up.
Bama then and the Bama we know now, of course, we know around that time we're looking at probation, scholarship reductions, also transition and coaching, and that's never something that really brings kids in or makes them say, you know what, I want to be there. So how were you able to look past all that noise and just truly see Bama for what it was?
That's a great question. I come from a program in high school. We were 6A back then. Now 7A classes now, right? So back then it wasn't a 7A. So 6A was 7A. So our program in high school, of course, you had 32 players on our team. Everybody played both ways, right? So I played offense, defense, special teams. I didn't come off the field, period. Everybody you seen on offense played defense and special teams. And we did great. We even beat big teams. So we did good. So I say that to say this. Even though Bama was going through all they went through, they was like not like recognizable like they are now. But you knew about it. That's how I felt about our high school. Like you knew about us, and we beat a lot of teams, and we knew and I was accustomed to hard work, me and the other players. So I knew it was going to be work in progress coming to Bama. And I didn't want to go nowhere where it was just going to be like easy. I wanted to really get my hands and feet dirty and just like help get the program out of the position it was in. And I wanted my name, and along with other players that came in with my class, we wanted that to be part of our legacy, not only winning games, but also bringing Bama back somewhat to his glory days, like what it is now.
Time out. First of all, we're not going to act like we didn't win the SEC championship in 1999. We're not going to act like the team was straight toilet water at that time. That's what we're not going to do.
No, right? Not at all. Not at all. Hey, y'all boys, man, laid the road for a lot of us, man. And that's another reason why we wanted to get in dirty, man, because like I say, in a way it was tarnished. Like the name was tarnished because of the probation and all that, losing all those scholarships. So it was tarnished in a way, like they forgot the accomplishments that happened prior to that.
Right.
So when we came in, it felt like nobody really didn't know, like we was underdogs, even though we shouldn't have been. So we just have to get it out the mud and go get it. And
Darby, you right. You right, Darby. You right. Y'all pretty much brought Bama back. You right.
That answer though exemplifies your play on the field, though, Kenneth. I mean, that answer you just gave and talking about the way the school you came from and the 32 players, that now explains a lot of what we saw on Saturdays from the way you played.
I just have one question. How did you go to a 6A school and y'all only had 32 players?
That's a great question.
Great.
Know. But we were 6A, brother.
What high school was it? What high school?
It was Butler High School.
Butler in Huntsville.
Butler High School. They not there no more. That goes to show you. So they closed it. They closed it down. There's a church now.
Damn. Whoa. It was that small? It was that small that it turned into a church?
I'm gonna tell you what happened. We had it was a big school. But far as football, it was 32. I kind of exaggerate. I say we had like 50 players on the team, but only 32 played, more so 20 played, because the first 11 on offense was mostly playing your defense as well. Mm-hmm. So we was talented enough to carry it. So like I said, we beat like your big schools like Hoover. We played them every year. Like we kept them on their toes, and they had a first, second, and third string in offense and defense.
Right.
So like I say, how we was 6A, I don't know, but we did it. But if we've been anything less than 6A, we probably would have killed a lot of teams.
That's what's up.
Man, I want to go now and talk about what's happening in Alabama in terms of recruiting. People said that Saban being gone was going to be the death of the program. There's no way that, as they called him, Husky Harsin could keep up recruiting at the level that Nick Saban was able to. Well, he had a top 3 finish last year. He's in the top 10 now, and more than likely he's probably going to have a top 3 finish again, if not top 5, which at that point you really can't complain. You're still elite. And the thing that rang true to me about what you just talked about, KD, was the brand. Despite everything that was going on outside, the brand was still strong. Bama is still Bama. Well, we're proving that right now. As I said, we had Xavier Crowell, the number 1 running back in the 2026 class, commit this past Thursday. Then we have one of the top linebackers, number 2 linebacker, actually in the 2026 class, 5-star Xavier Griffin commit. And then tomorrow, I fully expect Courtney Morgan to commit. Nolan Wilson's going to announce his commitment Friday. And then we're going to have Jara Edwards Saturday announce his commitment. So clearly, Bama isn't going away despite the wishes of everyone. So we need to talk about what it is that's making Bama and still relevant in terms of recruiting. Guys, talk to me. How is Kalen DeBoer able to do this at a high rate, and is inserting Nick Saban, like we saw recently, a huge catalyst for that? I look at him as maybe being the closer to bring in some of these guys. I think it had an effect on Xavier Griffin, Xavier Crowell. But I need to hear from you. How is Bama still doing this? Start me out, Steve, then we'll jump to Marvin, then Pettey and KD.
Well, I think Bama has such a legacy and such star powers that, kids grow up wanting to play for Bama. And I think that they're committed to it. So they're coming. I mean, it is what it is. Bama has a standard of pretty much excellence, so just based on reputation alone, no matter who's there. Now, I know a lot of people probably got turned off when Coach Saban retired, which is normal. But, I think a lot of people are starting to believe in DeBoer. Again, nobody left for the transfer portal. And Bama just has a great brand, and that's just what it is. So people are going to want to come to play with Bama, So,
gotcha, Marvin. What's your take on this? What's Kalen DeBoer got going that a lot of people doubted that he's able to do?
I think more than anything, he's relying on the fact that it's Alabama football. The Alabama brand is the Alabama brand.
Yep.
Bryant-Denny Stadium is still Bryant-Denny Stadium. It's one of those places when you walk into it, it sells itself. It's not like you have to do much to sell it. It's like you look at Ferrari and Lamborghini. You don't ever see Ferrari and Lamborghini commercials because people who can afford them, you don't have to convince them. It's the same with Bryant-Denny Stadium. People who know that they deserve to play there are gonna go play there.
Why didn't you say Camry? I drive a Camry.
Oh, I thought it was a Prius.
Again, people who know they're destined and born to play there are gonna go play there. So it's not like you have to do much to sell them outside of that because the Alabama brand is still the Alabama brand.
Pettey, you spent a lot of time with Smoke, who coincidentally has a great relationship with Courtney Morgan. So I want to hear from that perspective with your conversations you've had with Smoke. And Smoke's preached the effect that Courtney Morgan is having and what he's been able to take off of Kalen DeBoer's shoulders and handle himself. How is Alabama getting it done? Is it necessarily Courtney Morgan? Is it a combination of Morgan, Saban, and DeBoer? What you got?
Man, and look, Marvin and Steve are right on. Saban was a dynasty within himself, but that A is a dynasty outside of Saban, and that's why guys like Kenneth Darby came even on probation. But moreover, look, a year ago, and look, everybody is so short term. You let that 1 year of a lot of transfers and chaos and pulling things together paint what DeBoer was before he got here. And the reason a guy like Courtney Morgan, who everybody said when he got here is going to be the secret sauce, left his alma mater in Michigan to follow DeBoer to Fresno, up to Washington, and then to Alabama. Well, and then you keep key guys. He's not going to be able to recruit in Alabama, but yet he's got guys on staff like Robert Gillespie, who are absolutely dynamic in the Southeast and have relationships all throughout the South, all the way to our boy Freddie. So there's dynamic recruiters, and Courtney Morgan, look, college football is a GM game. You got to be able to shuffle money. And a lot of these teams are offering money that they can't back up, or either they're overloading their profits in certain players and not being able to spread it out. Morgan and them knew what the hell they were doing. They had a plan and they're doing it right. And now they're able to sell that. And again, everybody lost sight of the vision just because it was a bad year. Well, the guys within the program didn't. And again, that when everybody said he's the secret sauce, you're seeing it now. This is what the secret sauce. He's had a year to build these relationships, to put this network in order. And again, and then when you have the power of A to back up the process that these guys are running, it is next level. Morgan's, like you said, Courtney Morgan's the real deal, but it flows down to guys like I said, Gillespie, Roach. There's just dynamic Southern recruiters that everybody kind of overlooked, with the head man being from Washington. And again, people are now about to see what Grubb and this offense can do with a year in the system, and maybe pieces that fit their system a little better. So guys are seeing, and again, and it all full circle. You've got the secret sauce, and then you've got the A to work with. It's a dynasty within the dynasty.
That's what. Justin, could I ask the guest a question real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kenneth, I got to ask you a question, man. I have a problem with you. I feel like you came to Bama, but you didn't bring the other 31 players with you, and I feel like that's selfish.
They had to be pretty good, right?
Yeah, man, that's selfish, bro. What you got going on?
Boy, I wish I could have brought them. I really did. If I would have brought my boys from high school with me to college, we would have won a championship, hands down, because we had some great players. It's just most of them academics they didn't get the academics done. But for the most part, they were some dogs, receivers, linebackers, the whole nine.
So they fell into the Steve Brown clause.
Hold on. I'm going to text Evan Mathis and Wes Britt. He said y'all are sorry. He didn't want y'all. First of all, he had to settle. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I love the Brits, man.
Those are good dudes, man.
Lonzo
Weston too.
Yeah, but send the text though. Send the text.
You had to love your offensive line, Ken, because everybody in the country, in the stadium, on the planet Earth knew what was coming. So those guys needed to be blocking for you.
Hey, man, if you would have seen my line in high school, you would have seen the smallest crack, I get through it. So it wasn't nothing new to me.
I mean, you made it happen. But
yeah,
and we'll definitely talk about that. But back to the recruiting. Pettey mentioned one of your former teammates who is now one of the best recruiters in the country. He's a very important cog in the whole wheel. Are you surprised at the success he's having as a recruiter, just knowing firsthand the passion he brought every down, not only in games, but in practice, I can only imagine what practice was like between you guys. I mean, your passion was unmatched, his was unmatched, and when y'all clash, thunder. But do you think he's one of the big reasons? And just give your overall take.
I know it. I know he is. I know he is. Everything that everyone just said, I definitely piggyback on all of that. I really do. But to take it a little step further, with Roach, those guys, yes, I know he is. For the simple fact, you said a key word, the passion. One thing that kids like to hear, not just from sports, but they like to hear from people who actually been where they trying to go and have been in the trenches of where they've been. So they like to hear from people they know and who they like and who they trust. So Roach, like I say, and every other recruiter, they're going to speak the language that these kids know, in the language that they can hear. So, of course, you're just coming from someone who played the game. He knows the game. So he know, like I say, he know how to speak that language to every recruit where they can understand it. It's not like he probably going in there trying to be like top notch. No, just straight out and let you know how it is. And kids can relate to that.
You know, I can't figure out. I still, and it just, Roach was a pretty decent linebacker, and I still don't. I just don't understand how he ended up coaching the D line. Marvin, maybe you can comment on that, man, because it's like I'm thinking that like if Roach was a really good linebacker, and I was thinking like, well, maybe he would be coaching linebackers, but he's literally coaching the D line, and he's doing a pretty decent job. You know
linebackers like the quarterbacks on defense. I always said.
Well, you look at most college coaches; they don't coach positions that they played anyway.
No,
really?
You know, when Smoke was coaching, Smoke coached D line. So,
Smoke did what?
He was coaching D line at one point.
Sure did.
So,
wow.
Smoke probably told him he played D-line at one point, though. To be
Yeah. So I was under the impression that whatever position you played in college or whatever, you know, and you're pretty good at it, you take the job as that positions coach. But so in other words, Marvin, you got hired. You can coach the offensive line or whatever.
I would not.
That's what I'm saying.
I could coach linebackers. I could coach running backs. I could coach tight ends, and I could probably coach safeties. Outside of that, I ain't doing it.
So Darby, have you ever had to coach a position outside of your normal position?
No.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Do you know? Did you now you played against Robert, right? That was you and Gillespie went against each other. Did you know Robert? Wasn't that same era?
You asking me? I played against Robert.
Robert was Robert at Florida when you were there, Marvin?
Yeah. I played against Robert.
I thought he was man.
Nah, I smoked Robert twice in '99, baby.
I was sorry. I was
go.
in college for a decade, and you don't become a legend on the strip, getting the best memory and all that.
Alabama's current running back coach Robert Gillespie got smoked by us twice when he was at Florida.
Here we go.
Before I move on to the next topic, I'm glad you brought up smoking somebody. KD, probably one of the most watched clips on YouTube when it comes to searching your name is that run against Patrick Willis against Ole Miss. Patrick Willis had you dead to rights in the backfield, and usually no one survives that. But then all of a sudden, you spin out of that, and you're taken off around the edge, and number 13, poor guy, decided to be a hero, and it didn't work out in his favor because you shoved him out of the way and took off down the sideline until Rory Johnson kind of forced you out of bounds. How satisfying was that run, especially against an NFL Hall of Famer?
Man, great question. It just felt good, man. That year was a horrible year for a lot of reasons, and I felt like that was just a fresher breath air after that run, because that kind of solidified it, helped me remember, man, ain't nothing, it's still there. It haven't went nowhere. It's just a whole bunch of stuff going on. But me doing that run, it just pretty much woke something up in me. And like okay, we got to get back to the basics. And that was what it pretty much solidified for me when that happened. Not against Patrick Willis, but he always knew, even the year before that, I was cool with Patrick Willis, but he knew he he ain't finna get a good lick on me. He knew it was gonna
He didn't want that work.
Nah, he knew that wasn't finna happen regardless.
That's what's up.
So who was more difficult to face, Patrick Willis or Freddie Roach in practice?
No. Let me tell you something. Our defense, man, you had Freddie Roach, D'Amico Ryans, Roman Harvey. You had all those jokers that we was going up against. That was my junior year, but my senior year, you had a whole bunch of dogs as well. But if I had to pick, I'd go up against Roach any day because he had those guys prepared me for whatever linebackers we faced. Even that year and the next year after they left, I was ready because I never faced no linebackers better than our guys and Patrick Willis. There's just hands down. I haven't.
That was almost like taking a break, wasn't it? I mean, you got Freddie Roach in practice, D'Amico Ryans, Mark Anderson, Juwan Simpson, and then you go play everybody else. You're like, man,
it was like practice playing against everybody else.
I was going to ask, who was the toughest outside of? I mean, you faced Willis, obviously, but man, SEC was just loaded with linebackers.
Man, they was packed down with linebackers. Besides Willis, man.
Anybody ever get you good, and you're like, damn, he got me.
It wasn't a linebacker who got me. It was safety. Landry from LSU.
Yeah.
He was Jarvis Landry. Well, he was a linebacker playing safety.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was. He was a great player. He just played with his hair on fire. He was just everywhere. He caught me one time on the sideline, and that was my fault because I should have at least did something, but I didn't, and he got me good. But I did get up and let him know that'd be the last time he'd be like that. You won't get no more free shots like that. But that's the only person that really got me good, like had a good square blick on me.
Oh, that's funny. Coincidentally, your boy DJ Hall was on the show a couple of months back, and that's the exact same answer he gave. He said, said Landry was one of one.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Landry was a monster out there on that field, man. It don't make it no better. They look like a dang on bodybuilder as a strong safety.
He wasn't built like Steve, though, right?
Hell no. No. Apparently, y'all ain't seen me naked.
Yeah, I stumbled across your OnlyFans one time, and I was blind for
that one episode. You stood up, and we all saw that you don't wear pants during the show. You know,
right.
That was Bama Standard After Dark.
There it is.
Because everybody went blind afterwards.
Yeah, I be Winnie the Pooh, you know, just a t-shirt on, no underwear, no bottom. That's called Winnie the Pooh. Yeah.
Well, everybody chews on that. I want to talk about one of our other sponsors. Folks, the season is drastically coming. We got 60 days, y'all. And we're going to be playing the Florida State Seminoles down in Tallahassee. Well, the Seminole fans need to see Bama represent. Best way to do that, get yourself a title towel. Go to www.whitwillsports.com today. Enter the promo code STANDARD. Get a nice discount courtesy of your favorite Alabama football network, the Bama Standard Network. And, Pettey, while we're talking about sponsors, if you would, talk to us about the folks who really keep the lights on for us, Lamstone Company.
Absolutely. If you've driven around and seen those homes with that beautiful natural stone and thought, I want that on my house one day. Well, now is the time. If you are building, go to realrockstone.com. They are Lamstone Company, located in Aniana, Alabama, where, you know, our last guest, Mr. Lamont Russell's from. They are one of the oldest, most trusted sources in the state. And if you tell them we sent you using the promo code, the Bama Standard, you'll receive 10% off your purchase of stone. Guys, that's a good deal. Go hit them up today. Lamstone Company, Real Rock Stone, after the show, of course.
That's what's up. Justin, you know what? Bama has to win against Florida State. We got to, because I made a bet.
Question.
I made a bet. I did a show down in Tallahassee about 2 weeks ago, and I made a bet. My show was packed with big women. And I said, if Bama lose, all of them can have my body and do what they want with it. So Bama got to win. They got to win.
Aside from that, before
we better win, because if they don't win, that does a lot to the morale and the buy-in. Losing to a team like Florida State, who has been below mediocre the past 2 seasons, You lose to them. That sets a bad tone early on.
But what about my body?
No one cares. You're built like a pug standing on two legs.
Oh. Damn, that was quick.
Hey, Katie, I do have to ask, since you're on here, we're talking about Florida State. I know we're going down rabbit holes. Did Thomas Castellanos piss you off when he was talking trash about Alabama?
Who that again?
Quarterback for Florida State run his mouth saying that Saban couldn't save us and that we couldn't stop him.
Believe this or not, man, I don't pay no attention to none of that nonsense. So I don't.
Well, you know, the thing a lot of people don't understand. I'm going to say this, and Katie, you tell me if I'm wrong now. Everybody always want to talk about somebody giving bulletin board material. To the true killers in the world, they don't give a damn what you say. They don't care what's posted on the bulletin board. You ain't got to say one word to them, right, wrong, or indifferent. They finna go out there to kick your ass regardless, and ain't nothing going to change that.
Pretty much.
Because they come in motivated.
And I want to ask this, guys. Once you cross over, that, like, again, I didn't play on a high enough level to deal with bulletin board material, but in college you do. Once you cross that line, none of that shit matters, does it? I mean, you're not thinking about what some dude said in some news.
For the true killers in the world, you know when you going out there what you about to go do and how it's about to go. And ain't nothing said or written the week before or the month before is going to change that. Because you already know in your mind what you finna go do, who you going to do it to, and why you going to do it. And nothing changes that.
But Mark, somebody, let's say you getting ready to lower the boom on somebody, and it was that person that was talking crap. That adds a little sauce to the hit.
It don't add nothing because I was already trying to kill him anyway.
This is why he needs to be taken off the show. This is violence.
But I'm being serious. It didn't matter if they said anything or not. They got the same energy everybody got.
Okay, I get it.
Folks,
that line from the program, that's what Marvin said. That was a true story. Kill everybody, right, Marvin?
Kill everything that moved. And that's why my position coach never had to say much to me because he knew I wasn't the guy that you had to go shake to motivate the rah-rah. He just let that man go do what he do.
Well, at Central, my coach motivated us with that bulletin board material, and I got a chance to pop a dude, and he ran my ass over and said what he said on the bulletin board, and that was bad. He said exactly what he said.
But Marvin, you're absolutely right, man. I always stood by that as well. Just growing up, if somebody gotta try to motivate you, get you pumped up to go out there, do what you're supposed to do, you don't need to be out there. Because like you said, you already made up in your mind first and foremost what's about to happen. And nobody gonna change that. The only person can change that is God at that point. But my mind made up, I'm about to do this, and it's gonna get done. Period.
Damian Square's pregame speech exemplifies every point of what I just said. And if you don't go out there with that mentality without having somebody having to say something or do something to make you have a mentality, you're in the wrong damn sport. That should be your mentality every time you cross that damn line. Every time you walk out there, it should be who about to get it, and it don't matter if they about to get it. All that matters is you about to give it to them.
Hey, you want to hear something funny?
Yeah, what you got?
Hey, Marvin, you saying that, man, you just keep bringing back memories, man, because I used to have a saying like that. When you say everybody gonna get it, that's how I used to say, I said everybody gonna get it, even that girlfriend.
Hey,
and you ran like that every damn play.
Well, I tell you what, if we don't beat Florida State, I'm gonna get it. So
speaking of memories, I want to go down memory lane just real quick. And not to lie, this is kind of more of a serious note. But when Coach Rader walked into the meeting room the first time and handed y'all the playbook, and it was a printout of Super Tecmo Bowl, did y'all look around and be like, what in the hell is this? We got 6 plays or 4?
Ooh, man.
I mean, it's true.
The limitations. Y'all have what, like 12 plays that year? Because it was you up the 1 hole, you up the 3 hole on first and second, and sometimes third. A lot of, if you had gotten the 8 yards to
LaRon at the goal line.
Yeah. And one of the plays was giving up a sack.
Didn't go very deep under Coach Rader.
Our playbook could have been a lot better. It could have been a lot better. We had packages in there that I definitely didn't agree with, but hey, it was simple. Yeah, anybody could figure out our offense.
Yeah.
Look, man,
One of the
we loved you. Like you were. That's why I said you were one of the toughest backs. Because man, I'm serious. We're sitting in the student section drinking bourbon. I'm like, hey man, Darby's getting it up the one hole right now. Y'all bet, if I'm doing that, I knew the defensive coordinator was doing that. And man, you still got yours. You still got, you grinded it out. Like you said, mate.
I appreciate that, man. Man, it was tough sledding, but yeah.
Well, that's the thing, KD, is when I asked people on Twitter a couple of days before the show to ask questions they've always wanted to have you answer, there was several complaints about the fact that you'd be taken out after doing all the work in favor of the jumbo package. And you were robbed of probably, I don't know how many touchdowns.
A lot.
No shade to Tim Castile or LaRon McClain, but dude, you were the workhorse. You had games you were going 150, 200 yards, but when it comes down to that red zone where it really counted, all of a sudden you're told to go get a Gatorade.
Yeah, I always used to say if we get inside the 20, I know I'm going out. So every time I got the ball, I tried to break for a touchdown because I knew if we got inside the 20, they're gonna take me out regardless. So I couldn't stand the jumbo package. I have no but love for LeBron. That's my brother, him and Tim, but they knew. Like, y'all stay out. Let me carry this one on in end zone. But
and one of your teammates vouched for you too, man. Wallace Gilberry spoke up on that too. He said the same thing and said, "Tell my boy, roll tide, and you're one of the most underrated running backs to ever carry the ball."
Well, I really appreciate that, man. Like I said, it's glad to know that my guys still remember, but most importantly, people remember me. Because, after a period of time, after if they don't hear or see you no more, man, people tend to forget about you. So,
are you still working out, man?
Oh, yeah, man. See, I'm trying to look like
Marvin.
Marvin.
Yeah, the reason I asked you that, man, because me and you, we look better than Marvin. We look much better than Marvin. Marvin built like a hot water heater. Yeah, we.
But folks, if you have any questions for KD, go ahead and throw them in the chat. I'll start pinning them. Let's get to our last topic before we get to the audience Q&A. We already touched on before. It's all about sending a message now. Coach DeBoer spoke earlier this year that this summer is going to be the hardest summer in terms of the workout that these players have ever experienced. The attitude has completely changed. The guys are buying in, and he can be hard on them. He's loving on them hard, but now because they respect him, they understand what he's trying to do, they can be disciplined and taught by him the way that they need to get to that next level. So my question is, as we approach summer workouts, the really first step before getting the whole season rolling, what message is he trying to convey to his team? And then with the summer workouts, we're 2 weeks away. We're actually a week and a half away from SEC Media Day. So Kalen DeBoer has an opportunity to get in front of the entire college football world, because even though it's SEC Media Day, the entire nation has their eyes on the SEC. Mm-hmm. So this is a two-part question. What message is he sending to the team? And what message does he need to send to college football through SEC Media Days? KD, start us out. We'll go to Steve, Marvin, and then Pettey.
Me personally, I think he should come in, send a vicious message. To me, I'm going back to what Marvin was saying and what analogy we used to use when we played. I send a message that we gonna be some hunters. We coming out to hunt, and that's what he need to. That's the message he needs to send. Because me personally, none against the boy at all. Like I say, I know he's a great coach, follow his track record, but just outside looking in and me playing there and playing under Coach Shula or whatever, and the sideline presence that I've seen this last year, it kind of put a bad feeling in my stomach because it brought back memories of me thinking of Shula. Because there's no emotions on the sidelines. Feel like there's no getting on the players like you should. It just gave me that Shula vibe, and I hope this not he got those Shula vibes, which I know he don't, as far as being soft, just to keep it 100. But the message if I was him that I was saying that we coming to take what's rightfully ours. Like we coming from the chip, we going for the championship, and we gonna get there in a way possible, meaning that we're gonna be vicious and we're gonna be some dogs. So he need to unleash the dog mentality.
Man, it feels like we were in the locker room right then. You're getting ready to come out to the field.
Hey, I think that's the attitude we need to have this year because, like I say, before this, Bama was feared by a lot of teams and coaches. Mm-hmm. You see Bama on your schedule, you already going to chalk that up as a loss because you know you're going to lose. Mm-hmm. That's the type of fear and that's type of fear and respect we need to put back into people. It's not like it's left, but we can definitely get it back because we got the talent to do it. Mm-hmm. And I think we need to do that. I think we need to. If I was a coach, that's what I do. I send a message that we're gonna be vicious, we're gonna be competitors, but we're gonna be some dogs out there on the field this year.
Man, that was powerful.
You know, Justin, I remember a couple of years ago, I heard a commentator on TV ask the question, "What's the two scariest words in college football?" And the other guy was like, "What?" He said, "Roll Tide," and that's what everybody was scared of Alabama. And I think the players and the coaches are trying to reinstill that. You know what I'm saying? We're still Bama, but we got to start putting fear in the people. And it was something Nick Saban touched on. He don't want to just beat the opponent. He wants to just demolish him, make him quit. So I feel like a lot of that is going around. And honestly, I'm excited about the season because it seems like everybody's bought in. Nobody transferred out. So that's letting me know that those guys are there, they're committed, and they're ready to work. So I'm excited. I'm excited about it.
Marvin, what you got?
I don't think there's a message that he really needs to deliver. This is the time for the team to bond and put the finishing touches on their relationship and how they're going to play together. People don't understand the importance of summer workouts and the 7-on-7s. This is when you're going to get that cohesiveness from your team. It doesn't start when you go to camp. It starts during the summer when it's hot. You're running those 110s, and nobody wants to be out there doing it. This is when you start to build those relationships to where you can say, I'm trusting my brother. So I don't think it's so much as DeBoer as it is the team sending out a message that we are one and we are all on the same page right now. Because, again, so goes the team, so goes Coach DeBoer. But, again, you have to build those bonds and that trust in your brothers first and foremost. Because if I'm on the field with you and I don't trust you, that's not a good sign. And that starts with the summer workouts.
Pettey?
Well, internally, man, you got to stay the course. And look, if you believe that you're a champion and what you did works, you got to stick with that and don't break it because one season kind of went off the rails. But on the flip side, you are Alabama, and you've got a rare opportunity to kind of put a chip on your shoulder because you are hearing the murmurs. Saban's gone. It's not Alabama. You can't do what Saban did. You can't do what Saban did. You got one shot at this, DeBoer. This is it. You don't do it. This is the shot at the biggest title in all of college football, coaching at Alabama. Don't cower away from it. Put that chip on your shoulder, and a lot of times with that chip, people kind of rise up, play a little bit feistier. So use that. Let people know that
killers don't play with the chip, Pettey. They already got the chip in them.
But yeah, wear it. Say, we hear you. We hear that you don't think Saban's here. Keep doubting the A, and the A is going to continue to show up like it has throughout history. And so, wear that kind of like a badge right now. But on the inside, stay the course because what you've done in the history has got you to where you are now. So,
hey man, I understand that because every time I show up to places, people call me the A, and I'm like, I be like, why y'all keep calling me this? I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, this team right now is being overlooked. They're an afterthought, and they pretty much are out of every conversation in terms of fans outside of the fan base. And I kind of remember the same thing from your group in 2005, KD. A lot of folks were looking at Alabama at that time. They didn't think we were going to make any noise, but you had a group that was just so pissed off to prove everyone wrong. So if you would kind of take us back to the summer before 2005 and give us a glance back and maybe kind of connect it to maybe we're seeing right now. What was the intensity like from your group for that? Because that season ended up being something with, if injury didn't happen, something very special.
Yep. It's funny you say that because we all made a decision that we wanted to be great, and we made a decision that we was going to go for the championship that year. We made that decision before camp and anything even started. Go back to what Marvin said. It does start around camp and around that summer when we all get together and we sweat together and we during these tour days. We made that decision as a team collectively that we wanted to do something and we wanted to go undefeated and we wanted to go for the championship. And when we made that in our mind, that's what we went for. Even when we went out for practice wasn't practice because everybody was pushing everybody. Offense was pushing offense, defense players pushing defensive players, and we competed every day. Even during the season, we would go ones against ones, even during the season. Ones against ones. We did that consistently, and that's why we were so great at what we did that year because we was on a mission, and that's what. And like I say, we solidified that and made that a commitment that that's what we was gonna do that year. And get out there and go get whoever and go get what's ours, and that's what we did.
That's what's up.
So I got to ask you, being a running back right now, what do you want to see from this group of running backs? And is there anyone you have your eye on? You know, Jam Miller kind of reminds me a little bit of you because he has that same intensity when he runs, and not just when he runs, when he has to do the dirty work, blocking, setting everything else up. There is no slowdown for him.
I want to see each and every running back go out there and get it, man. I like to see them boys carry the ball, especially when they break tackles, make somebody miss in a hole, or break somebody angles in open field and just pull away from defenders. But most important, I like to see them when they go up in somebody's chest as well. Not only run the ball, but when they deliver the block. I just want to see the physicality of it. I just want to see them be physical and set the tone early. Well, my coach always used to tell me, you want to be the hammer, not the nail. So I want them to always be the hammer to start this season off. I want to see the physicality back there in the backfield. We're going to set the tone of the game. And that's what I always used to say to myself, and that's what I would tell my running backs. I want y'all to set the tone for the game. Set the tone. If it's 1 yard, you got to get 1 yard. Get the 1 yard, but go off in somebody's chest at the same time. Set the tone.
Hey, you know, Justin, I one of these comments by B Jam, and I like what he said, man, because I hadn't seen this for the last couple of years. And Marvin, maybe you can harp on it too. I hadn't seen a running back screen at Bama for some years. I hadn't seen a screen yet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to that too. I want to see a nasty running back screen too. Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that comment, B Jam.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, folks, let's go to some question and answers. We're going to start out from Don Parker. Question for Ken Darby. You were one of the most physical running backs in Bama history. No lies there. How does this current team get back to executing the run game with consistency and physicality, RTR?
Great question, man. We just got to get back to running the ball more, period. As a running back needs more carries to get that momentum, to get the feel for the game, get the flow of the game. I think we kind of got away from that. Ain't no kind. We did get away from that last year. And we need to get back to that. Like I said previously, the running backs on offense set the tone, period. So therefore, we need to get back to running the ball, set the tone. That way, it frees up a lot more things for your quarterback and your receivers. So we need to get back to running the ball, being physical, and setting the tone on offense. And that's where it's going to start. Us getting the ball to the running backs, and letting us get the party started.
Got
a question from Twitter from Jared Edgar. What do you remember most about the Florida game in 2005? I know you get asked that a lot.
What I remember the most, how quiet they was towards the end of the game, because they came out doing all that barking in the beginning of the game, but they got real quiet towards the end of the game. You couldn't hear none of them say nothing no more. That's what I remember out of everything, how quiet they were.
Was that game in Gainesville?
No, it was in Tuscaloosa.
Did you ever play in Gainesville?
Yep.
That is one of the most underrated places to play. I will say the fan base there is amazing, man. And playing in Ben Hill Griffin is an experience.
Well, the sideline's only that big, so the fans are on your neck.
We played there my senior year, so I get what you're saying, Marvin. It is amazing they stadium.
It smells like chewing tobacco and alligator meat. Trailer park. Nothing like Brian Dennis Stadium
at all.
Giving nobody props. Nobody gets props.
Katie, we got another question from Carl Taylor. This is coming from Twitter again. How was attending and playing for Alabama? How has it impacted your life, either good or bad?
I think it impacted my life pretty good. I made a good amount of connections there. Met a whole different brotherhood of players I played against, and met a whole bunch of great fans, and still continue to meet good fans now. So I think it impacted my life pretty good because I never traded in the connections and the people I've met since I've been there and after.
Okay, cool. That's a good question. I got a question. What was it like being hanging out drunk at the Citizens Club? What was that like?
Man, y'all get this dude, man.
I'm just nobody want to answer that question.
KD is always one in every group. You know that. It's always gonna be.
Oh yeah. It won't be right if it wasn't.
No Bama player wants to answer that. The drunken nights at the Citizen Club. I don't understand that. We the Bama Standard. We family. Ain't nobody don't know.
I'll be more than happy to answer that when the time comes. So that way we keep everybody else out of harm's way.
Oh my God, I don't even know why I work for this network. People don't want to answer that.
Because you love us. Sometimes love hurts, Steve.
There it is.
Got a question from Joe Gaither. Katie, how do you think you would have succeeded under this current staff or offensive system?
The DeBoer system?
Mm-hmm. Or the modern offense, I guess you could say.
Oh, man, that's a great question.
You would have flourished.
I'm pretty sure I would have done great. I think I probably would have done great. The spread system, I know I probably would have done great. Open up more holes and be able to see more. So, yeah, I think I would have done great.
Whole lot better than the 1980s playbook you had to
right.
The 1980 playbook was
I won't hold back. And then, look, you don't know this, Kenneth, like everybody else does around here, Kenny. I'm also a weird breed. I went to Alabama. I'm from Mississippi. I'm also an Ole Miss guy. Houston Nutt hired that guy after he'd been a damn insurance sales agent for like 3 years. And I almost quit football at that point. I'm like, I'll stop.
I think one of the plays from the 80s playbook was an interception. I think it was.
But to answer your question, I know I would have flourished. I know I would have because it would just would have showcased more of my vision and reading holes and getting to holes people probably didn't see.
You would have blown up. Your numbers would have been, I mean, everybody, high circle, whatever, you play when you play. But no, your numbers would have been great in that era.
Yeah, I agree.
Question for the panel. Alex Wilder, do you think by the end of the recruiting cycle, Alabama will end up with the #1 class? Roll Tide.
Keeps doing what it's doing, yeah.
I don't think it matters, me personally. I mean, you don't know who you're going to keep, who you're going to lose, who you're going to pick up via the portal over the next year or two. I mean, I don't put any stock in recruiting anymore. I mean, it's all fine and cool to track it and say you won a recruiting title, but damn, how many of them will be there in 2 years?
It's kind of like false excitement. You're excited for it or whatever, and we get a couple of guys that are really good, and the next thing you know, we lose them to the portal. So it takes a lot out of this. So it's like this is just like a carousel. It's like we don't even get to know the players before, because usually back in the day the players were there. We knew they were locked in, and we would get to know them. But now, we might get a 5-star, and the next thing you know, he's gone the following year.
Well, and to come full circle, we just heard Darby's story, man. He had Alabama. I mean, he had LSU, and I guess Ole Miss and Cutcliffe were on him as well. But he goes to Alabama, falls in love, and cuts it off right there. There's no drama. There's not all this.
Right.
Who's gonna drop a bigger bag, the bigger NIL at the last second. That's the thing. Relationships don't matter, because what matters is, hey, man, you're going to offer me more money. I can help my family out. And that goes for anybody. I don't care. That's not the whole, that's is what it is. You can offer me a better chance at it's just so different in that way. That comes full circle. That answer right there to your recruiting story. Ken.
I totally understand.
I think we finished top 5. If it's number 1,
Yeah.
great. But at the end of the day, it's just cosmetic. But also, I think if we continue to be in a top 5 program in terms of recruiting, it says something to the next class that, hey, Bama's still Bama. They still got it, and I still have a reason to consider them in terms of teams that I may possibly commit to. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do when you get here? Are you coachable? Are you going to be able to take that tough love when it comes at you? Are you going to be able to handle adversity when it hits? Or are you going to go in the portal when something comes at you sideways because you don't want to face it or because someone's throwing money at you?
Well, and I will look, and I know we just put a lot of negative spin, but to put a little bit of positive spin on it, and not just because our guys do it the right way, but that is one of the things that Morgan is doing. And he said from the get-go, we're never going to offer freshmen more than kids that have earned it. I know we're in the NIL era, so we're going to talk about money, but you're not going to come in as a freshman and out-earn a guy that's worked. And that's a tough sell for some kids, and it don't work. And the fact that it is working is a testament that Alabama may be kind of doing it the right way to keep kids for a longer term than just getting kids that are looking for the next big paycheck. Maybe, I don't know. That's a hopeful, but it does seem like that his sales pitch is in a vein of, maybe keeping kids a little longer than just looking at the big payday.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say this, I think the recruiting class that we just pulled, the 2025 class, are full of kids who want it. They're hungry. They're eager to return Bama back to where it used to be. I think this class is as well. And they are also looking at long-term wealth, not what you can give them up front. They're being sold how they can be developed and how they'll be used. So I think these kids have the right mindset. Of course, it remains to be seen, but I feel really good about what we're seeing these past 2 recruiting classes. All right, so before we end things and start to close up, what we like to do with all of our guests, KD, is have our own rapid-fire session. So, Steve, I'm going to let you go first, then Pettey, then Marvin. I'll go last. Steve, you had your question stolen last week, so I'm going to give you the opportunity to go before anyone else.
All right, here we go. Tuscaloosa, living in Tuscaloosa. Your favorite restaurant between the 2, Dreamland or Archibald and Woodrow's?
Dreamland.
Oh, I forgot. And the wings at the Citizen Club. Whoa. What's going on?
We need to add Taco Casa, Taco Bell into this so we can get us that Taco Casa.
Senior citizens, don't you, Steve?
Huh?
You like them senior citizens, don't you?
Man, listen, I used to get jumped on every Friday at the Citizen Club. Do you hear me?
Marvin, you're up.
What was your time like playing for the Rams, and what were your thoughts on them moving to LA?
I hated playing there in St. Louis, and I wish I was still there when they moved to LA.
What? The greatest show on turf?
You didn't go out in downtown St. Louis?
I went out, man. Real talk, Marv. I did not like St. Louis the first year I was there. Hated it. I stayed in my room the entire first year. The second year I got out because I had more players that I played with in Tampa come, and I hung out with them, and we got out more, and that's when it started growing on me after that second year.
Okay,
so I hated it.
So hanging out in St. Louis, it was pretty cool, right?
It was cool.
But was it anything like the Citizen Club? Whoa. I'm trying to get what y'all doing, man. Y'all tripping. I'm not gonna be here next.
Pettey, what you got for him?
But I kind of wish I was gonna stay there when they moved to LA, so I just experienced LA a little bit. But other than that, yeah.
Did you like your time in Tampa?
Oh, I love Tampa.
That's where I'm at now.
I love there. Yeah, I love Tampa. Love every bit of the people there, the culture. Like I just love every bit of Tampa.
I got jumped on in Tampa too.
What was the best moment, man? It doesn't have to be Bama. It could be Tampa, LA, wherever. Where was the moment that's most fondest to you on the football field?
Man, when I actually stepped on a National Football League football field first time and played, that was the best moment ever because now it just solidified what I always worked for and what I said I wanted to do.
That's what's up. Well, I got another football question for you and Marvin. Marvin, KD, what was Rose Towers like? Let's talk about that. Whoa.
Now we're getting to the after dark section.
Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa.
Hey, man, Rose Towers.
Whoa.
That's all we're going to say.
Better yet, how was Tutwiler?
Hey, you can come on. I do a show after this with TA, Chris James. Y'all can tell all the Rose Tower stories.
Justin, you said we could ask the guest questions. I don't understand my questions again. Whoa.
We had a few audience questions sneak in, so I'm going to ask these real quick before I go. QLE32, who is your favorite Alabama running back, KD?
My favorite Alabama running back?
Yep.
Ray Hudson. May he rest in peace.
Right.
Oh,
fantastic answer.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we got Randy Jackson. Katie, what's some of your crazy stories you remember with the guys like Anthony Madison and DJ Hall?
Oh, Lord. All those. Let's get the real ones.
Hey, man. All those stay outside the camera, but I do remember those guys used to go at it.
Katie, let me stop you right there. Certain things that we done, we know we did, and they should never be discussed in public light.
Wait a minute now. This is the Bama
I'm
Standard.
gonna leave it. No, there's certain things that just cannot be discussed.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait a minute.
No, I said we keep that off camera. We don't talk about that.
KD. This is the Bama Standard. We're brothers.
It don't matter if Coach Saban was running this damn show. It's certain things that just ain't gonna be talked about.
Y'all can go find any
some stuff you just take with you to the grave, Steve. You don't talk about it.
I understand. We understand.
Any book about an 80s rock band and just change the name to football players that play for Alabama is about the same thing. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
But those guys did use a Peter lot on the pool table down there in Rose Towers, him and those two. So we used to have little competitions going on down there. So that's one of my favorite memories is that we always used to get on that pool table down there.
All right. Okay. Real quick. 4th and 1. Everything on the line. KD, you have an opportunity to face Freddie Roach or Marvin Constant. Who you picking and what happens?
Oh, I like this. Great question.
Do I need to meet Marvin?
I will have to go against Freddie Roach, and I'm gonna win because I know how he played defense. I know how he moved, so I know what areas to attack on him to get that yard.
Man, you should have said Marvin. Them tight leotards, he can't move. Come on now.
Marvin, what would have happened?
Yeah, Marvin, what would have happened?
Hey, listen, man.
Nothing.
I played against many great running backs, from Sean at practice to Deuce McAllister to Travis Henry to Jamal Lewis. I played against many and broke all of their wheel.
Good gosh, Amadi.
Wait a minute. You say you broke their wheel. Don't say that because that sounds like
one thing for certain, Marvin. They won Kenneth Darby.
I love that.
All
right, one more. Katie, and we'll close up after this. What games do you have circled this year?
Oh, good one. Georgia. That's the one I got circled.
If you're free and you want to take a road trip, I'm going to that Alabama South Carolina game in Columbia.
Get with me after this, Marvin. We definitely need to connect.
Okay.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, connect with him, but he'll never have gas money. Listen, the first game I got circled is the first one. I mean, I'm sorry, is the first game. That's gonna set the tone. So, and it's also gonna help me win that bet. So yeah. But if y'all don't never see me again, you know Bama lost. So, yeah.
I got you.
That's first game.
We got to protect you at all costs, Steve. All right, folks, it's time to wrap things up. But I remind everyone, just because this show is going off the air, we have a network full of shows. Matter of fact, in about 30 minutes from now, we got the Herb and Raj podcast. We're talking about Georgia. Funny you say that. Herb and Raj are going to preview Georgia in 2025. Is Gunnar Stockton the guy who can really lead them to the promised land? What are they going to do to keep that dynasty intact? Is that dynasty in trouble? Find out on the Herb and Raj podcast tonight, 8 p.m. Central, right here on this network. And also, too, listen, we got a lot going on in terms of recruiting. Keep up. Tomorrow, Xavier Morgan will make his commitment announcement. And Nolan Smith will be on Friday, and we got plenty more coming our way. All right, folks, let's go around the room. Just tell folks how they can find you on social media. We'll start out with Marvin, then go to Steve Brown, and then Daniel. Katie will finish up.
You can find me on Instagram, Constant45, Twitter or X, Constant451. I'm always around. I'm always available.
Steve Brown, Comic Steve Brown on Instagram, Comic Steve Brown on TikTok. Every day from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm on that vibing out. Justin, you done came through. It's a party. Yes. So y'all check me out, man. And my tour dates will be coming up soon. Yeah.
You got something next week, don't you?
In 2 weeks in Tuscaloosa, the Q's.
A hysterectomy? Getting your uterus took out?
Oh man.
Q's of Comedy in Tuscaloosa, Alabama on the Twitter. Hey, Marvin, I owe you. I swear. You got me. Yeah. Q's of Comedy in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, July 12th. Y'all check it out, man. Y'all check it out. So,
Petty. Oh, my bad.
I'm gonna chase Marvin around the Caribbean, but not on one of those cruises where Steve's a comedian, because I just watched that poop cruise thing. Yeah, I'm done with that shit. But you can catch me at Petty_Daniel next week. You can catch me at B-Dubs and where are we at? Dothan, Alabama. KJALS golf tournament. We're gonna have tons of Bama legends, even some Auburn legends there. Like I said, we're going to be at B-Dubs on the 10th from 5 to 6. We're going to have live wings, drinking. Steve going to be there with hopefully pants on.
Never.
No. And after this, you can catch me in about 20 minutes over on the Final Whistle. Matt Caddell talks a lot. Chris James, Dan James, big brother, who has his finger on the pulse of Bama recruiting. We're going to dive in a little further. And, yeah, come on over. Check us out, man. And I'll be all over the place, but more importantly, come down to Dothan's. Come check out Kevin Jackson's ALS event. You gonna be there, Marvin?
What do you think?
Hey, but hold on. I got a problem with what you said. You said y'all gonna have live wings. Listen, I don't think y'all should be down there eating no damn live wings.
No, it's gonna be live. We gonna have wings.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say.
I didn't put the comma.
Oh, but give them to Marvin. Give them to Marvin.
Yeah, absolutely. Katie.
Sacrifice dead chickens just like Major League.
Y'all done?
Well, y'all can find me. I'm on 2 social platforms. Facebook, just my name, Kenneth Darby. I'm simple. Kenneth Darby on Facebook. Instagram is KODarby34.
Hey man, follow me, man. I could get with you and I could take you to a couple of American Legions. You ain't old enough. Don't worry about it.
I swear.
You like fried fish? You don't like?
No.
Just don't worry about it.
Fried fish and bingo.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You got to pass States Adam. None.
Oh, this dude, man.
Man, y'all tripping, man. I ain't coming back.
Man, listen, KD, it's been too long since we've had you on, but every time you come on, it's awesome, brother. We enjoy it every time, and we're grateful.
I'm glad I can make it, man. I'm glad I can make it this time for sure.
Amen.
And it's funny to me when we were talking about people remembering you, you're acting like you're this forgotten fossil, this relic. Listen, Bama fans still love you. You're one of the most talked about names in terms of running backs in this program. They remember you. And you're one of the baddest dudes to ever do it. I want you to remember that.
Before you go, I have one question for you.
Here we go.
What are your thoughts on the Rashad Williams interview?
He wasn't there.
I know. You never seen that?
Talking about with the dude from
Borat. Yeah. Sasha Baron Cohen.
I've never seen it, bro.
Man, you need to go check it out.
I've never seen this.
They talked about it And I never like.
Are we sure it happened? Because nobody knew about it but Shaw. It was just Shaw and Sasha Baron Cohen and then I and him on the sub. I know he was there because they saw it.
I need to look it up.
Hey, listen.
I'll send you the link.
Hold on. Well, he said Shadi. It's Shad. Okay, Shadi. Shad. I'm saying.
I remember him talking about it, but I've never seen it. Like
he is
if you
not.
got that link, Justin, send it to
I'll
me.
send you that link. And the crazy thing is, he was set up because Sasha Baron Cohen went to his teammates first. Went to Wesley, went to Smiley, and other guys, and they purposely directed Sasha to Shad, knowing full well what was about to happen. And it wasn't just an interview; it was an entire day that led up to that interview because Sasha was on the sideline dressed up as a cheerleader. And the entire stadium of 88,000 plus at that time had no idea they were being punked. And Shad had no idea he was being punked. But I'll send you a link. And he has not lived this down. Any team he's been on since then and any team that he has coached since then, that's always brought up by either teammates or players he's coaching.
Hey, man, y'all make sure y'all send him that link, man. And look, I found you on Facebook. I'm gonna send you a link to this Shirley Brown and Lattimore.
Don't worry about it.
It's Shirley Brown and Lattimore. You gotta wear slacks and Stace Adams.
Don't worry about it, Steve. We're good.
Listen, man, y'all turn the guests against me, man. Y'all turn the guests against me.
Thanks again, KD. Thank you to everyone who was in the audience tonight. Hit that like and subscribe button. Get down in the comment section below. If you missed the live, let us know what you think. But that'll do it for all of us, and we'll see you next week.
Do you like Clarence Carter? You like Clarence Carter?
Ooh, Clarence Carter.